And we're live. Welcome to Horror of Spice, where everything's nice. I'm Horror of Spice. And today we have Jack Cook, director of The Elevator.
Yes, yes. Hey, thank you, Vince, Mr. Horror of Spice. It feels. Hey, thank you for having me on the show again. It feels good to return.
Oh, you're welcome. Last we left off, you were working on a project for horror
Yes, yes.
and
A soda squeeze. I'm
a soul to
actually,
squeeze.
yeah, I'm still developing that, and I actually have traveled to the Midwest. We're gonna film the main location in a soda squeeze takes place in like a plantation home in the country. So we've been scouting locations in the Midwest for the last few months, and I think I've found a majority of them, and everything's lining up. But
Oh yeah.
as you and I both know, horror there's a place for horror in my heart,
Oh yeah.
and I know there's a place in your heart as well for horror.
Um, if anybody's watching right now, here is the Elevator trailer.
Awesome.
Oops, wrong button. There we go. All right. Tell me, how hard was it to get the elevator out and produced?
The elevator. It was a very awesome process. Basically, we started in 2019. I was contacted by my good friend Minosh. Minosh now he's a cinematographer, but at one point, Minosh and myself were actors, and we were studying. When I was 18 years old, I met Minosh at the New Actors Workshop in New
Mm-hmm.
York City, and we became good friends. Anyway, 10, 15 years later after that, uh, I became a director for numerous reasons, and Minosh became a cinematographer. And Minosh, he wanted to make this movie. Well, he was making a movie as a cinematographer, The Elevator,
Mm-hmm.
created by Mukesh Moody, who also co-directed it. So Mukesh, Minosh brought me to Mukesh and said, "Hey, man, my friend Jack, he's making movies in L.A. He's a good director, blah blah blah." And after some convincing, they brought me on the project. And I'm glad you brought that up because the one of the most difficult things about the elevator for me and Illusion Islands uh, was the little amount of prep we had. Okay,
Yeah.
so we got brought on the project officially, like signed our contracts a week. That was like about a week and a half before shooting. Okay, so usually I personally take around anywhere from 3 to 6 months of rehearsals and prep and everything
Yeah.
like that. But I knew it was a great opportunity for myself, and I really liked the project. It was a sweet movie, and I don't really get that opportunity much. Like the things that come out of my mind are kind of more horrific, what
Yeah.
shall we say, on the Horror Spice show. So I liked that it was different from my ordinary, and and as a challenge, I think some in any field we do, it's all about the challenge. So I like that challenge, but I think that was the most difficult thing was the little amount of prep. But the thing that saved myself and which I loved, the thing I got most probably from this project are the people I worked with. It's all
Yeah.
about the people you work with when it comes to cast and crew. It was, the elevator was a great experience. The cast, Eric Roberts is one of the most fun people in the world. Uh, my partner Elliot, he played the parking uh,
Yeah.
attendant. You've watched the movie, Vince. So like,
Oh
but
yeah.
he was the parking attendant, and I thought he did a phenomenal job. And
Oh
then
yeah, he did a tremendous job.
yeah, and I got to meet so many great actors. The wife and mother
Mhm.
Eugenia Kuzmina. I met her on this project, and she became a good friend. And she's a phenomenal actress. She's got a lot of movies coming out, and that came out before this. But I was happy to work with her, and I've continued to a working relationship with her and the person who played the oldest son, the actor who played the oldest son.
Mhm.
His name's Matt Rife. I was actually blown away of his performance in the elevator,
Yeah,
and I knew he was a phenomenal actor from the start. But it was when we were in the editing booth and everybody who's seeing the rough cut, like the producers and the editors, they're like complimenting Matt Rife. They're like, on how great he is and as an actor. And Matt is actually the lead actor in Illusion Island's next movie, The Private Eye. And
nice.
I think it's definitely because of his performance in the elevator. And then the two Averys, get this, both the daughters in the movie, they're both named Avery. So it was awesome working with, and that's a cool challenge too, Vince. Working with kids
Yeah,
is a because you do think they don't have a lot of restrictions that adults have. So you don't want them to freeze up when you're working with a young adult. The way you direct them, I think, is much different usually. Um, for example, have you ever heard of this movie called Tears of the Sun?
yes,
So Christian Bale's a kid in that, and Spielberg, what he did. So like what Spielberg likes to do with younger actors is he likes to film it like from start to finish instead of because sometimes movies we're filming the end, the beginning, like all over. And but so to help the actors, um, he was having them start to finish, like act like that. So, but the thing I really took from it was when you're on set, when you're making a movie, one person, it doesn't take one person to make a movie. It's
yeah,
about anywhere from 50 to 300 people. And you got to like who you work with. And when you like when they got to be good at what they do. You got to have talent, right? But being able to like who you work with is a blessing on set. I really made a lot of friends, I think, on the elevator set. Uh,
um like what I was saying on Instagram, the young gentleman did a phenomenal job um
Matt Rife.
in the acting.
Yeah.
um I think that um he's going to have a very long pronounced career. I really do.
Well, well, to give him a shout out, you can go check out Matt Rife. He has his first debut comedy special on YouTube right now. You can watch it for free. It's called Matt Rife OnlyFans. And I actually just watched it. I watched it the first day it came out. Might have watched it a few more times, but it is phenomenal. So definitely go check that out if you're watching. Go check out Matt Rife, MatTrife OnlyFans right now on YouTube. But Vince, you got to check it out too. It's hilarious.
Shoot.
You ever wondered?
Wrong button.
Hey, what's up, guys?
There we
Oh,
go.
there it is. Exactly.
There you go, guys. I'm posting Matt Rife's special into the chat. So there you go.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, no, it's only been out for a little over 10 days, and it's getting it's getting like about 10,000 views a day, I think. So it's doing well. And I like you. I'm a big Matt Rife fan, and I think he's going to be far, and I think he's currently going to be the next best actor type thing.
Oh yeah.
I like that. I like that in the movie realm. Where every 10 to 20 years the new breed of actors are coming out, and
Mhm.
so that's never going to change. Like once you're over a certain age, you can't play younger.
Yeah.
No matter what CG you do. Well, give it 20
Like
years.
the 34-year-old, the 30 to 40-year-olds that usually
High
play the
school.
high school students.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The American Pies and everything. And I loved
Yeah.
American Pie when I was a kid, but I think it was more for Shannon Elizabeth than anything else, and the
Yeah.
music and Blink 182. No, but I definitely yeah, I feel that. Yeah, you're putting 30-year-olds. The Glee guys, they were all 30 playing 18,
Yeah.
16 years old, and you're like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's always caught my attention. You got somebody who's playing an old person and they're in their 40s, and you're like,
Yep.
that doesn't make sense. And then you got this person in their 40s playing a teenager, and you're like, that doesn't make sense either.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I was we were talking about it over the chat earlier,
Mhm.
God rest in power, Betty White,
Betty White, yeah,
Yep. What was your favorite movie of Betty White's? I think we actually agreed that we had the same favorite movie of Betty White's, right?
yeah. Lake Placid
Lake
was my
Placid,
favorite movie.
yeah.
Yeah, and
That's
my
good.
favorite TV show was the elderly pranking people. I can't
Yes,
remember the name of it though.
that was off the rockers. I
Yeah,
remember,
yeah,
like that was a recent one. Yeah, but that was pretty funny. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that one's for you, Betty White.
yeah. Tell me, um, how difficult was it to get um, what's his name to uh,
Eric
being
Roberts.
so enthusiastic about the breakdown in the elevator?
Oh, Eric Roberts.
Yeah,
He
how did that work?
he takes it to another level. Eric has been doing this for a very long time, and he's also done more movies than most people as
Yeah,
actor. So there, he's bringing in a certain caliber when he walks on a set, and he has his own way of doing things. Like most great actors, there's no one way to act.
yeah,
First of all, like that's for example, that's Meisner. There's a Meisner technique. There's a Strasberg technique. There's many techniques, right?
mhm,
But there's more than one way to get to a finish line.
yeah,
Or like we say on Horace Spice, there's more one way to skin a cat.
yeah,
But anyway, what Eric does, so he has his own way set up to where once he's on set, he's ready to go, and he'll give you what he would do, and that's what I like as a director. I want to be honest, So if you give your most honest performance, I want to see that first. And then if there's anything like little technical, that's when I come in and I say, all right, well, move your head a little to the camera so I can see you do it, or
yeah.
whatever, so like I get the perfect shot, or walk a
Little
little
to the left.
faster. Say it faster, you know. But Eric brings it, That guy brings it, and he's so natural. That's another thing too. And there's a certain in the elevator. It's a crazy mix of genres,
Yeah,
like where it's a family drama, yes, but there is this like slight tints of comedy, and like because he's in like it could even be said to be dark comedy. I'm not going to say it is, but like the way that Eric pulls off some of the scenes, like for example, one of the scenes when he's in the elevator, he
mhm,
starts hyperventilating, and
yeah,
that was all his idea. Like that was he was in an elevator, and I think when you're in a small space as an actor and there's not a lot of props or anything to use, you try to use everything that's there. So he had the
yeah,
lunch bag. So like it was just in my mind, it was genius that he did that, and he starts hyperventilating and freaking out. Uh, so there's another element that he adds to this moment. It's this technique called it's called it's a private moment, okay? And that's what you're in the elevator. You might, everybody. There's a lot of acting I don't like. The acting I don't like is when they think they're so pretty and cool, and and they
yeah,
think
yeah,
they're
yeah.
perfect,
The
and but
Batman effect.
that's not real. That's not real. That's not perfect to me. I think the imperfections are the most beautiful things in
Yeah,
people, and so when you're in a room by yourself anywhere, you'll do things that you would usually restrict and not do in front of people. So uh, I really think the elevator moments had those private moments where, like, he's when he's freaking out and hyperventilating, like you're like, dang man, like he's really,
Yeah.
freaking out. But a lot of people will do that in the elevator when they're
Yeah.
by themselves. Nobody's around. What the heck are you doing? You're breaking down. You're crying or whatever. I think there's a lot of challenges for an actor when it's only one person in a room, when the room is only so big. There's only so much to do, and there's not a lot of tricks that you can use to pull yourself out of your head as an actor. And I think Eric really brought it in his performance.
There
And
was something that happened in the movie. The I forget what it was called, what you called it in the movie, but it was the little attack he had and why he had to be hospitalized. And I'm like, that's some ER made up crap, ain't it?
the you talking about the doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor.
But yeah, they were describing that Eric had a an attack of some sort, and that's why
Yeah,
he was passed out, and that's why he was hospitalized.
the
And
defibrillation. Yeah.
they named the name did, and I was like, that just sounds like some ER made up stuff.
Well, I'm not a doctor, but we had a doctor on set, and that was one of the things. Mukesh Moody is very well connected, and as a filmmaker, it's very helpful to be such well connected and so friendly with everybody.
Yeah.
And Mukesh Moody actually got us. What I'm trying to say is we were actually in an actual hospital filming.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
we had a whole section knocked, like where it was only us filming. So we had the opportunity of having a registered nurse on set. So,
That's
all the
crazy.
terminology and yeah, it's pretty nuts that we were able to do that. But I think it's very important for movies because I want it when you watch movies, if you're part of the industry, you you should I want the people in the industry to be like, all right, that's real. And
Yeah.
just because I'm saying that, I do got to clarify. There were a few times that where I was like, it was a little camped up
Yeah.
in the doctor's office. Okay, and so that that's where I think you're coming from, and I do got to justify that myself. Where uh, I do I do think it was a little over the top sometimes, but I think that's the kind of movie that it is.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
that
It's
makes
supposed to
sense.
be over the top. Yeah.
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 It's like it's really dramatic at the end. So I think there was like
I love
some.
the film, honestly.
Oh, good.
I couldn't get enough of it. Like
Thank you, guys.
there was moments when it was supposed to be completely serious, but this just maybe it was a way a actor or an actress moved or something in the background. I was all like, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something else too. To get back to Eric Roberts in the elevator. So
Yeah.
get this. So we were just talking about Eric being so, like in a private moment, him freaking out.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, Eric and myself and my partner Elliot and a few others. I think I know the gaffer Willie was there. I forget who else was there. There was a few people in the elevator. We got stuck in an elevator while filming the elevator.
Elevator.
And
All right.
so, and Eric is calm, man. He is calm as a Hindu cow. He is calm as a Hindu cow going into a slaughterhouse. Like, but me, I was the one freaking out, like, because I was embarrassed. I was like, man, how does this happen? How do we get stuck in the elevator? I got Eric, Ellie, everybody's here, and I felt somewhat responsible.
Yeah, that's one of
So
those pucker up moments.
it was, but I'll tell you what, Eric, man, he was cool. Uh, but if he was by himself in the elevator, he might have done the opposite.
He's the type of person like you know that actors and actresses are human beings and everything,
Yep.
but they elevate themselves in their work so much, and the love that we have for them elevates them even more. And then
Oh
all
yeah.
of a sudden, you start getting these images of people like I couldn't see Eric farting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't see Eric farting, but I
Yeah.
know he does.
Yeah, exactly. That was actually very well said. I mean, the fart part was it was really well said before that too. But that was a very well said thing about actors, about how they elevate the audience and everything.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, Eric's when I tell you what, when I think of him, uh, he's very mafia boss like
yeah,
Dark Knight. When he played the Dark Knight, it was a Falcone, or I loved him in that. But my favorite movie of Eric Roberts is Pope of Greenwich Village. I'm not sure if
really.
you ever seen that. It's him and Mickey Rourke. Uh, but
Oh
uh,
yeah, yeah,
but he had a perm, and I asked Eric on set. I was like, Eric, man, I loved you in Pope of Greenwich Village. Like, what'd you do to prepare? And he said, he's like, Jack, I wanted my character to be a spaz. So he was very like a mile a minute sometimes
yeah,
in
yeah,
that movie. And there was originally a first the director, and the director got replaced, but the director wanted two tough guys, because Eric was a tough guy, and Mickey Rourke is a tough guy, so they were brothers and best friends. So the first director wanted them to both be, mafia hip, and Eric wanted to do, a different angle that's less traveled, and I think it was a smart choice as an actor because it shows range. You know what I mean? Anybody can be one note, but being able to show the highs and the lows and be different people. Daniel Day Lewis is a perfect example too. I mean, that guy, every single movie he's a different notes. I've seen
yeah.
him be a lover boy. I've seen him be like, well, I don't want to get nowhere near that guy.
That's also,
Butcher.
you could bring up Forrest Whitaker in that too.
Forrest Whitaker's in which one?
I'm just saying, as far as that
Oh, the
elevated
range.
status.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, that guy, Last King of Scotland, like he can play like action movies. He can be a sweetheart, and I
yeah,
didn't, yeah, I didn't even know this. He was a part of the Twilight Zone in the '80s or
yeah,
something. Like I was just recently watching Twilight Zone. And I'm like, wait, he was a host. Forrest Whitaker's a host of Twilight
yeah.
Zone. So I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't know
I
that.
used to watch the reruns that they would show in the '90s.
Yeah, so there you go. Like
Yeah,
I've watched every single one of the originals, and I watched the first season of Jordan Peele's show. I didn't even know about these, but I'm glad when I don't know. I've seen so much movie, so much TV show that when I haven't seen something that's real good, it makes me feel happy because I'm like, dang, watching a good movie. Let me tell you this. All right, I watched two great movies in the last 2 months, and I knew about both of these movies, and I'm so glad that I didn't watch them until now because like it gave me because watching a great movie for me is, and that's why I make movies. I think and
I just got a obscure movie
which one?
recently, La Grande Buffet.
Oh, I've heard of that. That's a horror film.
It's a exploitation style.
Okay, tell me about it.
Rich. It's an Italian film, and rich aristocrats get together and try to eat themselves to death.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
So that's like that's its own. That's cool. Wait, how old is that? When was that made?
Hold on, I'll go get it.
All right, cool. Le Grande Buffet. So what? So how old is that?
Let's
Is it a
see.
French movie too? I assume.
Yeah. Oh, 73.
73. Nice. This reminded me of even Hannibal. What is it? Holocaust. Cannibal
Yeah,
Holocaust.
Cannibal Holocaust.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like the first Blair Witch movie, right? Found footage,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was so controversial that the director actually had to go to court and prove that the people were still alive.
Yeah, that they weren't really eaten by cannibals. That's it's amazing how if you really want to be an independent filmmaker, if you want to be a filmmaker, you'll figure out any way to get it done.
Oh yeah.
And if you're doing it low style, like even like the next so the elevator's out now on Amazon Prime. Uh,
Mhm.
I've got a few movies coming out next year, and I'm very excited for every single one of them. And it's an exciting process to think about the marketing strategies. Like Cannibal Holocaust, market
Yeah.
it as if it's real. Shoot, heck yeah, a lot of people will eat that, eat up, and then that's where Blair Witch Project comes out. People thinking it's real, Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
So the marketing is very it's a piece of the game that people don't think about. Like you can be the best filmmaker in the world, but if nobody knows about it, who cares?
Yeah.
So the marketing's always changing too. Like look at social media and everything.
I'm always in social media. This is what I do for my personal life.
Yep.
And I tell you, man, it's hard to stay current.
Oh, it's
It's
it's it's,
hard.
it's constantly changing, and getting old doesn't help either because what is popular is what do the people in their teenage years in the 20s what are they watching, so since I'm not teenager in my 20s, a lot of the actors I don't even know. I don't even know about. I do now because I'm part of the industry, but the way I find out about them is not by watching things. It's by people telling me like, oh, what about this actor? And I'm like,
Yeah.
who is that actor? Oh, he's just the most famous person in the world right now. I'm like, oh, dang.
um so with the elevator,
Yes.
I saw that the mother was all over the place. She was scattered out. She was worried about her husband. Um, was there any support you had to give to the actress to elevate that experience for her, or
Well, the Ellie Kazan. You being a film buff, you know who that is? Ellie
not
Kazan.
really?
Eli Kazan.
No.
Well, he's watch. You've probably watched some of his movies, but
Oh, more than likely.
yeah, he started the Actors Studio, but he I mean, he's probably, you can say that he made Marilyn Monroe, Marlon Brando, James Dean. He did East of Eden, Streetcar Named Desire, On the Waterfront, to name a few. But he's like one of the greatest that was in the beginning. He got a bad rap he was tied in with the Communist Party
Yeah, yeah.
at one point. But
He got blacklisted. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
but the reason why I'm bringing up his name is he had a quote that said, 90% of a movie is casting, or 99% of a movie is casting. And the reason why is if you cast the right people, you don't have to coach them to be actors. Okay. So, what I like I said, the scariest challenge of this movie was for me was the lack of prep. I didn't have any rehearsals. All right. So, uh, my mentor, who I studied under, well, one of them, like two of them at the New Actors Workshop were George Morrison and Mike Nichols. And Mike, they were both directors and film. George Morrison was more of a film coach, like an actor's coach, and Mike Nichols is a film director. And he's the one who got me into minimum 3 weeks of rehearsing with actors. The problem with that is when you're making low budget things, everybody wants money. So, and I do, you can't just take off. You got to make money. So a lot of times when I'm making these independent films, I can't rehearse as long as I would like to. So what I'm getting at is I think it was casted real well, and Eugenia is such a great actor that she is reminding me of her character and what she thinks her character would do. So like the director comes in, and I've got like 25 people asking me questions, whether it be wardrobe, set design, makeup, hair, etc. Approving it all, right? And uh, Eugenia, like some things, like you can't be full 100 on one particular thing. That's why you have other job titles. You have an actor, you have a wardrobe. So so I can just worry about the story that's being told and making sure that it was going to make sense. And
Yeah.
so Eugenia, man, she would recommend things to me actually. And so that's what the actor, I think, great actors, I truly believe that they're the ones, their job is creating the character and bringing their acting presence to movie. So I was very blessed with, speaking of Eugenia, like I remember there was one time where she's like, Jack, I think I would, I would come out and slam the phone like this, or, like I wouldn't slam it. And I'm like, well, I think that's what you should do, as your character. Cause like that's real. Like, I don't like, don't want to
You
say
don't
don't
like
like.
pushing.
Yeah, I'm not the director that's trying to get in the actors' heads.
Yeah.
I want them to make the decision, like, because I think that's where truth comes out is
Also, you get
when.
great cohesion out of that too.
Yeah, and I think that's the part. And like I said, one man doesn't make a movie. So if it was all my ideas, it would be a pretty boring movie. But the real thing is uh, collaboration. I'm kind. It's kind of like being a director is kind of like being like a pirate ship captain, where you're like, we're going this way through the storm. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but we're amazing at what we do. So let's try it. And then like all these things go on at once, and you're just trying to make sure that we can get through this storm in one piece. And I really. I was happy again. I'll say this again with the cast and crew. I think they really made this an enjoyable process because the truth is, we don't really enjoy. You don't remember the end. You don't remember the end of your journey. Like you wanted to get to your goal so bad, but when you're at your goal, you don't remember receiving the goal. You remember all the things you took to get to that goal, and
Right.
that was a beautiful process. So I really liked that these actors, they would really bring it and give me suggestions, and we'd work it out. And I have a quote. It's not only for actors; it's mostly for filmmakers. It's like, if your idea is better than mine, I'm not the type of guy that's going to be selfish and turn you down. If it's better
Yeah.
than mine, we'll use it, and I'll say thank you. And if it doesn't make, if it's not better than if it doesn't make sense, I'm going to explain why. I'm not just going to say no, we're not doing that. I know sometimes we don't got time, but I truly believe in uh, being humble. Especially in a place of power, or whatever it is. But I do believe in a good work environment. I think everybody should like each other and love each other.
Was all the film locations in California or
No, no. That movie was filmed in New York City and Long Island. Hicksville, Long Island was a majority of the place. And then some of the exterior shots were shot in uh, Manhattan. And there was actually, this is one of the first times I've worked with computer graphics and VFX heavy in a movie. With some of the buildings, actually. Some of the buildings, sometimes what we did is we had an office building in Hicksville, and that was the best office building we had that we wanted to use, and basically we had to computer graphic some of the exterior shots, some of the buildings outside the office. So that's a different process alone. Like when you're doing computer graphics, for example, the computer graphics people, they want the craftsmen, the artists, they want they want your camera to be locked off. It's called so on the
yeah.
tripod it sticks, so it doesn't move. The reason why when you're shooting 24 frames per second, uh, you, there's no movement. It's just one shot, so you can just do one CG and it's good for the whole shot. But us pesky directors and cinematographers, sometimes we want to pan or any movement. And remember, even if you're doing a little bit of movement, every movement is 24 frames per second. So depending on how many minutes the shot is, uh, a little movement does a lot. So the computer graphic artist has a lot of work to do. So that was a awesome, dare I say, learning experience. Like I've worked with it before in podcasting, commercials, CG and VFX, but never that heavy, because this is a feature film length and everything. So that
Yeah.
was definitely an awesome experience as a director working with CG in the 21st century. But
I
yeah,
don't have
Hicksville
a
and
whole lot of experience actually working with CGI, but being a movie buff I am, I've seen all different types of it.
yeah,
From the cheap stuff all the way to the good stuff.
yeah, and it depends on the movie you're making, and and it is a crazy new world we're in, with computer graphics. What a movie is it's every art form put into one. That was actually said by a friend of mine, Patrick Rowe, who was one of the writers of The Private Eye. But I really like that. I think it rings true. I mean, a movie is every art form put together. For example, computer graphics, computer technology. That is what is now the powerhouse for capitalism.
Mhm.
What makes the most money is technology right now.
Yeah.
So that is now an art form that we use in filmmaking. And I don't do it to be, like, I don't like having to do it to be cheap. And I don't think that was the reason for this movie. But I uh, I think it's awesome that we're using that technology, because
Oh
like,
yeah.
we're already using music, we're using sound effects, we're using color correction, we're using, everything. So, of course, let's use it. But yeah, so we filmed mostly in Hicksville, Long Island, and then some of the exteriors we shot in Manhattan though as well, like the credits, the parking garage was in Manhattan. And that's why I studied at the New Actors Workshop. So I really love New York City. Have you ever been, Vince?
I went as a child, stayed for 6 months with my father.
Whoa. Now, how old were you as a child?
Um, 22 months.
Oh, so you don't remember
I don't remember it. Yeah.
that. Yeah. No, it's it's too expensive, but the theater there, right now at Christmas and New Year's is one of the best times to be in New York. But there is a New York pace. They aren't lying when they say that expression. But
Yeah.
New York's it's got a place in my heart. But yeah, so we filmed in New York though, 2019. When you're making an independent film, it takes a while to do the editing.
I
It's a
like the
longer process.
countryside of New York.
What?
I like the countryside of New York.
Yeah, I Cincinnatus, the Catskills, those are beautiful. And where we filmed, you'll like this because you're a horror buff. So Hicksville is right next to a lovely town called Amityville.
Yeah.
Do you know where that is?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So one time we were filming, and a few of the actors and Ellie, including Elliot, and I think Matt was there. But we went to the Amityville Horror House. After we didn't go inside, we
Yeah.
just stand outside and got to just watch it. It's a pretty cool experience if you're into horror movies. you know.
Hear a whistle in the wind.
Yeah.
Get out.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and being a horror buff, where else? So like the movie I filmed that's coming out next year called The Private Eye. We
Yeah.
shot in this. We shot in a video store in South Pasadena. It's called, and right
Really?
next to it, right around the corner, and I got to see this. And this is my kids and I's favorite horror movie. Is the original Halloween House.
Yeah.
Michael's house when he was a boy. So I got to film by that horror house too. That's a few. Kind of sounds like
Um.
I'm saying whorehouse, man. Horror,
Oh yeah. Horror. Yeah.
not whorehouse. Horror house.
When I was a kid, actually, I would say whore, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
meant horror.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
teacher actually is like, no, that's the wrong word. I was like,
Hey, they're so similar,
yeah,
I got I had the same thing happen to me when I was doing a play called Macbeth, and I was playing Macduff, and my line was the horror, the horror, the horror. But it sounded like I was saying they all thought I was saying the whore, the whore, the whore.
Oh man.
Yeah. Have you?
Um.
Yeah.
So tell me, how long did it take to actually film?
All right. Well, so this film we filmed. The original schedule was for 15 days.
Mhm.
I think we filmed 16 to 17 days, including the pickup days, the pickup shots. Because, like, so, when you're making a movie, it's called principal photography, is when you're filming. And then once you go into post production, you might see a few things that you missed, like exterior shots. Like, I remember we were at that hospital and we wanted to get a drone shot of the hospital or something. And, we had to schedule another pickup day after we were editing to get the shot. And then even the drone shots in the beginning, in the credit sequence, that was done as a pickup shot day. So I think it was like 16 to 17 days in total,
Nice.
which is pretty quick.
Yeah, that is.
You know, I I standardly like anywhere from 20 to 25 days if it's a low budget indie. But the thing is you don't have that time if you only have a certain amount of budget. Even with the private eye was less than that, film wise. So but that's where art comes from. A lot of times, a lot of times, getting everything you want is never always a gift. Like
Yeah.
being figuring out how do I do this now. Art comes from that more than getting everything you want. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, art does not come from a comfortable place. You might be comfortable, you might be in a flow, but it's definitely, in my opinion, not comfortable.
No,
In any
art is
way.
never comfortable.
Yeah,
It's chaotic.
yeah, exactly, exactly. No, yeah,
I got a question here from one of our audience members. How many
awesome.
hours a day were you filming?
Oh, shoot. It ranges, but minimum 12 hours. And you're talking about as a director, like, because directors or filmmakers that are crew members, we were on set for anywhere from 12 to 14 hours most of the time. Uh, we did cut it down to 10 hours a day some days because we were actually doing 6-day weeks too on this project now thinking about it. And like when the crew, you go as long as you believe your crew can go. And I think you got to be a good leader, like not just myself, the producers that were on board, Raj Rahi and Mukesh Moody. You got to, they did really well at, accommodating the crew and cast to where, like if they knew the crew was getting tired on the 6th day, we would do a 10-hour day. But I mean, me personally, I personally had to work 12 to 14 hours a day, minimum. And the actors, it's a different type of energy. I don't have to be on camera, so I don't have to look pretty or look like I'm not tired. So but sometimes the actors too, they'll be out on set for 12 hours as well. But to answer your question, as a director, for sure, 12 to 14 hours a day.
Um, let's see. Is there anything else I got that we haven't already discussed?
Well, tell me more about your opinions about the movie
Okay.
Elevator.
Well, I enjoyed the comedy aspect of it.
Hmm.
It was a nice blend to have that in there with that seriousness.
Yeah.
I thought the cast did a tremendous job.
Hmm.
Um, we've discussed before. I feel like it's over the top, and it was perfect because it was over the top.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and um,
Well, hey,
I'm sorry. I'm remembering scenes in
again,
my head.
yeah, yeah. No, thank you for watching and having me on to talk about the elevator. It's out on Amazon now. Next year is going to be really exciting, Vince, for Illusion Islands, which is my production company.
Yeah.
Have you got to check out the website by any chance?
Not the website, but I did subscribe to your YouTube channel
Oh, nice.
and followed all that stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Plus, anytime I do anything for you, in
Mhm.
the description, I usually put your YouTube channel in there
Oh,
too.
awesome. Thank you. Yeah. No, well, illusionislands.com, it's that simple. It's got a lot of like we've done commercials before, and it's got a few of the movies that are coming out next year. If you don't
Okay.
mind, I'd like to tell you a little bit about them.
Yeah, please, by all means.
Yeah, there's four that are definitely coming out next year, and one we talked about a little bit today is The Private Eye.
Hmm.
That film, it's a neo noir romance mystery, and
Sounds nice.
yeah, everything I got though too, Vince, it's got comedy in it. Like, because I believe life is funny. Like, in situations, not it's not only jokes. It's like what happens to people is it's irony sometimes. And it's there's a lot of comedy in life, and
Yeah,
so it's got that aspect. That one's starring, like, you'll see Matt Rife and Elliot again, but it's starring Claire Grant, which
nice.
I'm not sure if you know who that is, but she is a phenomenal actress. It's also got Denzel Whitaker, who's phenomenal. I actually just saw him recently. He's on a Chase Sapphire commercial. I just saw. I was like, dang, it's Denzel. And then another person in there is Eric Griffin. I'm not sure if you know who that is, but he is
Yeah,
hilarious.
I'm recognizing a lot of these names, man.
That movie is one of a kind, and I'm very proud of it. That one will be coming out most likely next summer.
Okay.
We're in the final stages of post production. We're finishing all the uh, complicated, like, artistic stuff, like and we're about to move into like a streamline of post production to get it out but that one's going to be coming out. We've got another one that I helped co-produce. The director was Jennifer Delia, and she is phenomenal director. She wrote, well, she helped write it, but she was the director of this project. It's called Why Not Choose Love, a Mary Pickford Manifesto. And I'm telling you, that movie will blow you away. It's about the real life of Mary Pickford, who was the woman
Oh,
who helped start Hollywood. She partnered with Charlie Chaplin, Douglas Fairbanks, and D.W. Griffith to start United Artists. But that cast is great too. We even got in that Carrie Elways. You know who that is?
yes.
He's playing D.W. Griffith, so that
Nice.
and he's phenomenal in that as well. We'll talk more about that when it comes time too. And probably one of the greatest cinematographers I ever had the opportunity of meeting, and not cinematographer only, like people. He's one of the greatest people I know. His name is Dan Neese. He recently actually passed a few months ago, but he was the DP on it, and I believe that was. I'm actually positive that was his last feature film he filmed. So I am gratefully touched to have worked with him. And just the whole cast and crew too. The producer Catalina was a phenomenal cat, we call it. But anyway, so that movie's going to come out. That's an unconventional biop, and then we've got the Perfectionist hairstylist. You'll like that one. It's a horror film.
Nice.
It's already we're in the editing process of that. It's starring Corey Kirk, and the director is Rosalinda Brooks,
Nice.
who's a phenomenal director. She's one of the most beautiful directors I've ever seen. She's also my wife, but but anyway, so that movie's going to be coming out, and then A Pocket Full of Bullets. It's another film that's coming out. But anyway, we've got a big lot going on for next year, 2022.
Well, man, I would like to extend to you the opportunity that anytime a movie comes out, or if you just feel like hopping on, you can always come back and uh,
I would love that, Vince.
spend time with us. You know?
Yeah, I love that. I love speaking with you, and thank you for supporting me. In my art career. So I really look forward to talking with you about every film. And you're my favorite film critic. So thank you again for supporting The Elevator, which you can find right now on Amazon Prime, starring Eric
Yeah.
Roberts, Eugenia
You can buy
Kuzmina,
it for $3.99.
Elliott. Say it again.
You can rent it for $3.99.
Yep, or buy it for $11.99, I
Yeah.
believe, or
Yeah.
$10.99.
Yeah.
Uh,
$11. Yeah.
$11. You can see on illusionislands.com, like right when you click on it, it'll be the first link you can
Yeah.
check
I'm
it
gonna
out.
actually go there as soon as we hop off here.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you for everybody watching, and I hope to see you again.
Thank you from Horror of Spice and Jack Cook. Y'all stay creepy now.
Stay creepy.
Bye.
All right, bye.